Hi, I'm Chris Lynch, Burnie City Councillor, and I'm just here tonight to talk to you further about our financial management system and I guess some ideas and thinking behind our budget. So we're out on the community now looking for your input, but I thought in the meantime I might just take you through a few points and a PowerPoint that I spent forever organising, and I'll bring it up right now.
Okay, so let's look at exactly what council's rates mean for you and your property and your business. So the cost to deliver existing services are increasing for the council, and we need additional income just to continue to deliver all of the services that we do in the community. And council is in budget repair for some past decisions like the rate reduction. But to understand it further, let's look at a couple of common terms. So the CPI. Now that's what measures the changes over time for prices paid for consumers of goods and services. And in Tasmania at the moment, that's sitting at about 7%. So that's 7% more expense this year for council to provide its services. And I mean basic things like just putting diesel in the garbage truck. AAV, which is the adjusted annual value, and that's the estimated yearly rent that you would get for a property if it was rented out. And the valuer general is responsible for calculating that. Now, all councils use that valuation, applying a cents in the dollar calculation to get a rate amount. And then capital value, that's just if you make improvements to your property, like building a house on a vacant block of land. So let's just have a look at some examples. Now, a small residence on Upper-Natone Road in Upper-Natone that has an adjusted capital value of $262,500 and an adjusted assessed annual value of $11,492. So what did the rates look like that for that property over the last 8 years? Well, if council had not put the rate reduction strategy in place and instead continued to increase rates in line with the CPI each year, it would look like this. Starting off at $957 in 2015 and 2016, you can see from the green line at the top, that's the average CPI rate rise over that time, which would mean that in today's terms, that would be $1,227, when in actual fact, you can see from the blue lines where council's rate reduction took hold, that we're actually only down at $988. So in 2023, the property owner is paying $988 instead of $1,227. Let's look at another example. A large residential property in Panorama Crescent in Cooey that has an adjusted capital value of $592,500 and an adjusted assessed annual value of $21,060. And you can see from the graph here, back in 2015, 2016, we're sitting at about 2,286. The CPI rise, if it had been applied, would mean that that would now be 2,931. But again, due to the council reducing rates in those middle years, you can see that it's still down at 2,274. So in 2023, the property owner is actually still paying a lot less than what it would have been with a normal CPI increase. And if we look at commercial properties, a CBD retail outlet in Wilson Street that has an adjusted capital value of $754,000 and an adjusted assessed annual value of $52,780. If council had not put the rate reduction strategy in place and instead continued to increase rates in line with the CPI, well, it would look like this. Back in 2015-16, $8,344. CPI would have taken that to over $10,000, but with the rate reductions that we applied through those other years, it's still down around $8,500.
Thanks for sitting through that with me, and I hope it clears up a few questions that you might have. Now, we're committed to talking to the community. We're committed to making sure that what we do is transparent and that the reasons behind the financial management system that we're going to run with are clear to all. So take advantage of the sessions that we're having out in the community. You can find them in the link below. And look, get in touch with the councillor, get in touch with the council, have your say. It's your city, and we want to make sure that everybody that lives here feels part of it, and that's what we're up to.